Hey there, everybody. Welcome to our preview for Yellowstone Season 4 coming on November 7th. It has been a long wait, guys. Let's just throw that out there first and foremost.
November 7th is going to be a really busy day because Dexter New Blood is also premiering that day.
Yeah, like we've got Dexter will be doing on the channel at that point. We'll be going into Yellowstone like later on that month. We got Power Book 2 Ghosts coming. Like this Sunday nights this fall, forgive me for sounding like I'm, young and hip, but it's going to be off the chain, everybody.
Oh
We hope you're ready to dive in, discuss everything at Dutton Ranch with us. There's a lot of chaos moving into this season.
I'm really excited for this show to come back. I wasn't sure when I very first started watching Yellowstone if I was going to be, the audience for this. I didn't grow up sort of in that lifestyle at all. I grew up in Toronto. There wasn't a ranch in sight. This show is for everybody. It truly is. This is, yes, there's sort of that Western country feel to it. There's the ranch feel to it and all of that. But this show for me is really about the characters. They are so good and so layered. This show is phenomenal. I cannot wait for it to come back November 7th.
As a cowboy who grew up in the South, and I did grow up in the South, but it was a city. I went to a Dallas Cowboys game once. That kind of makes me a cowboy, right? But no, it is November 7th is coming.
You've got more Southern cred than I do.
I guess. Okay, well, before we talk about that cliffhanger, what could be coming, what we know about this new season, some thoughts on the trailer, hit that subscribe button because we don't want you guys to miss anything that we're doing on Yellowstone when it premieres, and that is the best way to make sure you don't miss it.
Okay, so this is where we were with the season 3 finale. Everybody but Jamie might be dead. We had somebody busting into Casey's office and shooting up the place. Beth had that bomb go off in her office. John is bleeding out on the side of the road. And then we have Jamie kind of being like, what? I am shocked, sort of thing. So is he really shocked? I don't know.
It's such the idea of whether or not Jamie is responsible or partially responsible, like that's something that is a huge driving force behind the new season. I'm not saying Jamie is likable. We know that he's capable of really dark things, but I still, in my heart of hearts, I don't think that he knew directly what was going to happen. I think maybe he knew something was going to happen, but it's a difference between, some people are going to intimidate your family, you should stay away from them, and here comes somebody trying to kill all of them. I'm still holding out hope here, even if I'm terribly wrong.
Jamie is one of just the worst people
on
this show, maybe across TV. Like, he is really, for someone who is a lawyer who is supposed to really influence other people, he is so easily influenced and talked into things. It is wild to watch how quickly he gets broken down and to do something. Now, he learned that he was adopted into this family last season, and then he met his real dad, who seems like a wonderful human being, but really a piece of work. So, I mean, is it possible that his real father is somewhat involved and is influencing Jamie? I mean, that feels like it's the probable explanation, which means that it probably won't be, because this show is also very good at, making us hit the curve and go into a twist, and it's actually a twist.
That's the thing. We've had more than a year to think about all of this, and yet I don't think anyone is really all that clearer to having an answer, because it feels like Jamie's biological dad is one of the best options here, because we don't know that much about him. We don't know fully what he's capable of, though, like you said, he is a piece of work, so he's more than capable of doing something like this. You look at something like Markwood Equities and Rourke and that whole side of things. It's like, okay, obviously they have a motive to want the Duttons out of the picture, and they have the money to be able to do an operation like this. But once again, is that too obvious?
Yeah, I mean, they're a very obvious suspect as well. I mean, that's the thing, is that it's sort of all the usual suspects that are out here all have very strong motives. It's just the whole family got hit. I mean, it does feel a lot like it would be Rourke and, market equities, because they would kind of need to wipe out everybody except the person who's the most easily influenced, who is sort of like, yeah, we should do this. Jamie has been left alive. So, I mean, it does feel like that makes a lot of sense.
It does, and that's why they're probably gonna find a way to punk us. However, that is like there are theories that maybe Malcolm Beck is somehow still alive after everything that happened there previously, and that's a fun thing to think about. But then it's
Yeah.
like, okay, so he's gonna rise up from the grave. He's gonna be able to orchestrate like this completely random attack that kind of comes out of nowhere. Like they would really have to have a darn good explanation for that.
Yeah, and I mean, there's theories circling around Angela Blue Thunder as well, and I mean, she certainly has motive too, but I just don't know that there's enough motive to attack the entire family. It just, I don't know. It's a bit thinner for me.
Okay, this is where it's 6 minutes in. This is a safe place now, so I'll give my biggest hot take theory of all of them.
All right, here we go.
Kayce's gonna die. I think we're gonna lose Kayce. I think they have to kill off a Dutton for this cliffhanger to have any sort of weight. If all of these people survive, then it's just gonna feel like they just spent all this time for nothing. And I can't see them getting rid of the other two to me. And I think, because Monica's still there, because his son is still there, they have a legacy from Kayce to leave behind so that his story still matters. But I think this cliffhanger has to matter, and I think we're going to lose Kayce because of it.
Well, the thing is with how many people's lives are in the balance, if every single person makes it out of this alive, going forward into the show, then it's going to be like, well, whenever there's a cliffhanger like this, of course they're going to make it out, because we had something like this where 3 of the Duttons' lives are all sort of hanging in the balance. And then it's like, didn't matter. They're all still here. And they've done a really good job keeping this stuff a secret in that trailer. Like, there's no John, there's no Beth, there's no nothing. Like, they really have kept it hidden.
If they really want to make people mad, they could kill off Beth, because it's like, everything with like her and Rip right now, they're like giving you all this stuff. If they killed off Beth, I'm not going on social media after the episode. I'm just saying that right now.
No, neither am I. I'm going to be pissed off.
Instead,
we'll be here at the channel being pissed off with all of you.
So if you want to watch us be angry and they kill off Beth, because I think we can all agree, unless Kevin Costner just doesn't want to do Yellowstone anymore, They're not killing off John.
No, but like I said, I really appreciate that they did not reveal this in the trailer, because there's been some cliffhangers on some other shows, even recently, like with The Witcher. For people who haven't seen The Witcher, just give me like 30 seconds. Okay, so at the end of the first season, they had a cliffhanger with one of the main characters who was like, is she dead? Is she okay? Is she whatever? And then the trailer came out last week, and it's like, oh, there she is. Cool. Thanks for ruining that, because that's not coming out until like December.
Yeah, it's like if you're gonna do a cliffhanger, you gotta find a way to make it stick until the premiere to the best of your ability. And kudos to Yellowstone for finding a way to do that, and also just finding a way to really build up this entire season on this idea. And I know that this is a theme of television you love in particular, of revenge and having a good revenge story.
Oh, I love a good revenge story. And Yellowstone has really, really stepped up with a lot of revenge stories. And this feels like this season is going to be the ultimate revenge.
The slogan even, everybody pays.
Correct.
It sounds like something like a wrestler is gonna say before they like announce their pay-per-view match.
I love it. I seriously cannot wait.
Yeah, I think all of that is gonna be really, really interesting. Like beyond sort of just the cliffhanger, like they've given maybe a couple of little tidbits here or there. Like, Jackie Weaver is coming on board. She is playing apparently the actual like Marquette Equities boss, a woman named Caroline Warner. And it's kind of, the only thing that confuses me about this whole Marquette Equities thing is that like I felt like every single person we've seen with them has somehow had like a high degree of power within there. So it's like, how is she above everyone else?
Yeah, and the fact that she's coming in and we know that she's coming in, it kind of gives more legs to the idea that this corporation is the one who just took out all the Duttons except for the one that they can influence.
Yeah, it just maybe that's the whole thing. Maybe this entire cliffhanger is just meant more to be about who lives and who dies as opposed to who is ultimately sort of responsible for it. Because it is a situation where, okay, let's say Jamie's biological dad is the one that did this. What's stopping, just one random person from the ranch going over there and then just like knocking him out? It's not that's not that hard of a revenge story, really.
The most sort of idiotic part of this with Jamie, and Jamie is kind of an idiot,
Yes.
so he doesn't always seem to think everything through, is if you're responsible or if you have a hand in this, whether it is with market equities or your dad or yourself, you can't take a hit out on every single person in the family and not yourself. Like you are then absolutely the number one suspect that has a hand in this pie. Like you needed someone to come and just, shoot you in the foot, or, they missed all of you, which we've seen in TV shows over and over again, where they like unload a clip in a room and it's like, oh, nothing happened to me, but you hit everything else. He needed to be part of that in some kind of way if he's involved. And I think that he has some involvement. I just don't know what side it is.
Yeah, he could be. He could have been tricked to go along with part of it. He could have been a main perpetrator. Like, there are still so many different directions that can go. But yeah, you're right. He should have had something happen to him. It's like, let's say you go and commit a string of robberies with everyone on your street, and they're losing like their TVs, their jewelry, and then the cops come over to your place and you're like, oh yeah, my toaster got stolen. It's like, well, nobody's gonna care about your toaster. You gotta make it believable.
Yeah, it's not believable at this point, but that's fine because somewhere along the way, I want to see Jamie get his.
There's so many people who need to get theirs on this show.
Yeah.
Like, really. Josh Holloway, I love you, but you gotta get yours as well.
Yeah.
Okay, well, like we said, Yellowstone Season 4 premiering on November 7th. It seems like we're gonna have a really huge premiere event, so you guys come back here. As soon as it's over, we're going to be talking about that episode, and also hit that subscribe button so you don't miss our reviews like we mentioned earlier. Mm-hmm. Dexter, Succession, Power Book 2 Ghosts. We got a lot of great stuff coming.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you here next time.